Hello everybody, welcome to our channel, where we will share reviews of various hardware, devices, laptops and assembling personal computers, both new and used. I'd like to note that I'm not an expert, but I do have a basic knowledge, similar to most people who have opened a PC case at least once. Please subscribe, so you don't miss our new videos. In this episode, I aim to assemble a computer for around $250 using used parts and see how it performs in late 2023. For this build, we've selected the Xeon E5-2640 V4 for socket LJ2011-3. It's a highly budget-friendly server processor from 2016, manufactured on a 14nm process. This processor boasts 10 cores, 20 threads, running at a base frequency of 2.4 GHz and capable of turbo boosting up to 3.4 GHz on a single core and 2.6 GHz across all 10 cores. The TDP of this chip is 90 watts. The motherboard, also a budget-friendly option, is the Asus X99P4. It's a micro ATX form factor motherboard built for the LJ2011-3 socket. It features 4 slots for server-grade DDR4 ECC RAM with frequencies up to 2400 MHz. Operating in dual-channel mode, it supports a maximum of 128 GB. Additionally, it supports SATA 2 and SATA 3, USB 2.0 and 3.0, and PCI Express version 3. It contains one slot for PCI Express X16 and one for PCI Express X1, also one slot for M2 and VMe SSD. We'll be cooling our CPU with a tower air cooler equipped with 4 copper heat pipes and 2 90mm fans. As our Xeon 2640 V4 supports ECC RAM with a maximum frequency of 2133 MHz, we have chosen exactly that, 2 ones of 8 GB each. Next up is a speedy M2 NVMe storage drive from the KingSpec NX series, a 512 GB Gen 3 model. It's anticipated to achieve speeds of over 3000 MB per second for both reading and writing. We will be testing its performance later on. Next, the graphic card. It's AMD RX 580 2048 SP with 8 GB of GDDR5 memory from the Polaris generation, produced in 2018. Our card features a rather simple cooling system, consisting of an aluminum radiator and 2 fans. It requires an 8-pin power connector. This graphics card was released specifically for the Chinese market and differs slightly from the typical RX 580. It features 2048 stream processors, while the regular RX 580 has 2304 stream processors. For further specification, please refer to GPU-Z. The TDP of this GPU is 150 watts. To power our setup, we've chosen the budget power supply, the Chieftec GPS 600A8 offering 600 watts. It's a budget-friendly but fairly reliable solution that will comfortably support our configuration. It comes with a basic set of protection as well. We'll place our components in a budget case from GameDias with the power supply located at the bottom. It comes with a built-in 120mm RGB fan that also features simple RGB lighting. I will not go into detail about the case now, but if you are interested in more detailed descriptions of the components, please feel free to ask in the comments. So, let's calculate the cost of our build. All components except the power supply and case are used and were purchased on AliExpress. The bundle with the motherboard, CPU and RAM costs about $65. The CPU cooler is $17, GPU $60, SSD $18, power supply $52, and the case $32. You can save significantly during sales on AliExpress, especially if you buy a used case and power supply. Now, let's take a look at the specifications, run some synthetic tests, and most importantly, see how it performs in modern games. Let's start with CPU Z. We can see our Xeon 2640 V4 from the Broadwell family, manufactured on 14nm technology, 10 cores and 20 threads. We achieve a score of 361 in single-threaded and 3095 in multi-threaded performance. The RAM is 16GB of DDR4, operating in dual-channel mode at a frequency of 2133 MHz. You can view the memory speed of reading, writing and copying, as well as cache specifications on your screen. The speed test of our SSD showed our 3500 MB per second for reading and over 3100 MB per second for writing. The RX 580 graphic cards has 2048 stream processors running at the frequency of 2086 MHz. It incorporates 8GB of GDDR5 video memory operating at the frequency of 17 and 50 MHz. The GPU is connected to RAM through the 256-bit bus, ensuring a maximum bandwidth of 224 GB per second. In the Cinebench version 20, our CPU scored 3068 points, and in the WinRAR benchmark it achieved 20.4 MB per second. To check the temperatures of our graphics card, I ran the Furmark stress test for 15 minutes. As a result, the GPU did not heat up beyond 68 degrees Celsius, which is a quite impressive result. And now, let's see how our build performs in few modern games at Full HD resolution. Let's start with God of War. Using the original preset with AMD FSR turned off. With these settings we observe a stable average of 40 frames per second. Enabling FSR can potentially improve the frame rate.
That was the last.
But they're too round. Could be a wild boar.
Good.
Oh! Now what?
This way, boy.
Hop! Oh. Wait, deer tracks. They're fresh. This way.
I'd like to mention that currently I am not using a video capture card, so the frame rate is consistently 5-10 FPS lower when recording video from the screen. Next up, Forza Horizon 5. Running at high settings with FSR turned off, we are averaging around 60-70 frames per second.
What would you say are the two most important things in Mexican culture?
Family and food, family and art, family and music.
Clothes, familia, and the Volkswagen Beetle. Locho is the Mexican nickname. My bisabuelo Fernando was the first tourist to own one. And thanks to that photo, I think I know where it is.
Seriously? Let's go find it.
Keep an eye open for roadworks.
The roads look open just now. Maybe we'll be lucky. Maybe not so lucky after all.
Looks like roadworks. Can you find...
In Dead Island 2, with medium settings and FSR set to quality, we are averaging around 60 FPS.
Just nip through, out the garden gate, and Emma should be on the same street. I love you, Mrs. Pipewrench, but Madam Sword's looking mighty fine.
For Resident Evil Village, using a combination of medium and high settings, we achieve around 60 FPS in action scenes or higher. In The Last of Us Part 1, with low settings and FSR set to quality, we are averaging around 40 frames per second with drops to 30 for the 1% low.
Move up, move up.
I meant to tell you, I was down on Jordan Street, and all these soldiers showed
You
up
take
with a
one
group
out,
of
I'll
about
take the
5
other.
civs, all in handcuffs.
Let me guess. Fireflies?
Yep, they're lined up. Shit! Right here!
Let's search the area.
Hell.
Over here!
There you go. There's our boy. That cocky son of a bitch.
Let's go wrap this up.
Let's be smart about this. There's a lot of them.
For a long time.
Yeah, well, we lost our contacts in the north, lost our contacts in the south. Shit, I don't know who's left out there to sell us stuff.
Nice shooting, fellas.
Hey, go around!
For Hogwarts Legacy, with low settings and FSR set to quality, we have a somewhat less smooth experience, averaging between 30 and 50 FPS. However, it's still playable. In Red Dead Redemption 2, with a mix of low and medium settings, the benchmark shows an average of 50 FPS and minimum of 39 FPS. In actual gameplay, the frame rate remains within the range of 40-50 FPS. so you can comfortably enjoy playing RDR2 with this setup.
Before they find us and rob this score they're planning. See that smoke? Let's cut up here and take a look. They said it was near the lake, so we must be close.
So, what are your thoughts of this build? I believe assembling this computer for $250 is a fantastic opportunity to create a functional PC that can handle both work tasks and provide capability to play almost all modern games on low and medium settings. What do you think? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. See you on the next videos. Bye.